Now on CoastTV News.
Short-term regulations, why Milton is looking for ways to manage rentals in town. A diesel debacle in Milford, what led to a fuel spill and how crews worked to clear the mess. And braving bitter cold, how people on the coast are trying to stay warm.
And speaking of that bitter cold, we have some teeth-chattering wind chills and temps coming up tomorrow and Thursday morning. More on this crazy cold coming right up.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Rental rules in Milton. Changes could be on the horizon. Good evening and thanks for tuning in to CoastTV News at 11. I'm Christina DeRobertis. We begin tonight at the Cannery Village in Milton. That's where the Milton Planning and Zoning Commission held a meeting just a few hours ago. One hot topic on the table, Airbnb rentals. The town is looking for some public input on how to regulate these rentals, but as CoastTV's Brendan Conroy reports, there are conflicting opinions on whether changes are needed.
Visiting Milton and staying in a short-term rental could look a little different in the near future. That's because the town is considering applying regulations to Airbnbs and other rentals, which it currently doesn't have, meaning visitors can stay for as short or as long-term as they want. Terry Woodhull has lived in Milton for years. She thinks regulations aren't needed.
Usually people that go to Airbnbs are decent, good, wholesome people.
And another Milton native, Gloria Garcia, agrees. She sent this email to the town saying in part, quote, "There is no problem to be fixed currently," end quote. On the other hand,
there probably should be some regulations on it.
J.R. Foner thinks it's a good idea for the town to manage these rentals.
It does have an effect or could have a negative effect on people's neighborhoods, so it's a good thing that the council's looking at it and trying to figure out how to manage it.
And Linda Pyatt of Milton says she can see where the concern comes from.
I think they're afraid that Milton would become an Ocean City or a Rehoboth, where it's inconvenient to enjoy the small town.
Take a look at this, one of those Airbnbs in Milton, the Charleston of Milton. And when we spoke with the owner, he told us this is one of those popular spots people like to go in those summer or busier months when they're trying to experience Milton, Delaware. No decision was made Tuesday night. The Planning and Zoning Commission plans to hold a workshop before the next meeting. In Milton, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
New at 11, a diesel fuel spill shut down part of Lakeview Avenue in Milford this afternoon. According to DENREC, it happened after a Purdue Farms trailer came loose from its tractor crossing the railroad tracks. DENREC Emergency Response and DENREC Police were on site to clean up the spill, and the road reopened at about 7 p.m. Well, a relaxing day at the beach could soon be more expensive in Lewis. The city is weighing a proposal to create a paid permit parking system for non-metered streets near Lewis Beach. The proposal is a $100 fee for permits per season for locals and $250 per season for visitors.
I think it's necessary because when I've been in town, I see notes on cars on the streets with no meters, and the owner of the home can't even get out of their own driveway.
Now, if this is approved, the permit parking system would be put in place in summer 2026. We're taking a live look outside now into Lewis, and our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams is going to join us for a check on the weather. Paul, it is so cold outside.
I mean, so cold is the only way to put it, because we've gone from cold to really cold to just so cold. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We start off for tomorrow morning. As cold as we are right now, we're going to end up at 3 to 1 degrees for tomorrow morning with what's happening with our forecast. And we're going to have 7 degrees at 7:30 for us in Rehoboth, as well as Lewis, Dewey Beach. 8 for us actually in Fenwick Island. Thursday morning, we're not going to get much better, 9 to 10 degrees for the start of the morning time. And then Friday will start kind of come out of a little bit, but then by Saturday we know dive right back to single-digit wind chills for the early morning hours. And we've been looking for about 1/4 of an inch to just an inch in some areas. And what's left over for us, we have maybe 1/10 of an inch in some places, and perhaps even 3/4 of an inch additional snow. We're going to take a look at your active radar coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you, Christina.
All right, thanks, Paul. We'll check back in with you. And the cold is unfortunately unavoidable for many people. It's inconvenient for others. One woman we spoke with today out in the cold says she's not just worried about herself, she's also worried about taking care of her car during the winter.
Well, it has definitely been a very cold winter. A lot of ice hitting on the cars. It's good to actually put something on it beforehand so it helps you a lot better when it does get really bad. But it's been cold, freezing.
Indeed, and it's not just humans having problems. Today, people near Love Creek Pond reported seeing birds seemingly trapped on the ice. According to a state wildlife representative, it's not uncommon for birds to appear immobile during cold spells. While they are not always frozen in place, they can struggle with icy surfaces.
They look like they were frozen in the ice. They just were still. And some of them were flapping their wings, but not getting out of the ice. And it scared me because I thought they were frozen.
Officials say to avoid rescuing birds yourself, you should contact authorities like DENREC and let them do it, especially as bird flu remains a threat. And this talk about the cold brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what is your top cold weather struggle? Let's take a look at the results tonight, and it looks like 35% saying bad roads and bad sidewalks are a big struggle, 41% saying high power bills, 4% saying defrosting their car, and 20% with staying warm, which has definitely been a struggle today. But we still want to know what you think. It's not too late to vote, so go over to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. And as temperatures drop, local nonprofits are working to help the homeless find shelter. One of those organizations is Higher Ground in Georgetown, and today the town granted that organization overnight emergency shelter status. Lou Hernandez, the director, says everyone deserves a warm place to sleep in these conditions.
We don't want to see someone that we know from the homeless community die and there's something that could have been done to ensure that they be safe. They are residents, whether anybody likes it or not. They are all residents of this area, of this town.
The emergency status went into effect today at 4 p.m. and it will end at 4 p.m. on Friday. Now, roughly 40 million people from Texas to the Carolinas were under winter weather alerts Tuesday, and at least 4 people are believed to have died as a result of the dangerous cold gripping much of the country right now. And while officials are telling residents to stay inside and stay off the roads, some people did enjoy the snow day. As Sherelle Hubbard reports, the rare winter storm blanketing the south with heavy snow is being called a once-in-a-generation winter storm.
Sounds of glee could be heard outdoors as schools across the Deep South were closed or moved online Tuesday from Texas to Florida. School children weren't the only ones taking advantage of the rare winter storm with historic snowfall. Some Houston first responders had a snowball fight between calls, but Houston officials still cautioning residents to stay warm and safe at home.
Most folks really should prepare to batten down the hatches for the next few days and to plan to stay put.
New Orleans' French Quarter also looked like a winter wonderland with street performers performing as the flurries fell. But for the first time ever, the National Weather Service issued a blizzard warning for parts of southern Louisiana and far eastern Texas because of heavy snow and strong wind gusts.
Louisiana, this is definitely happening.
And with wind chills dipping into the teens for much of the Gulf Coast Tuesday morning, officials warn the weather could pose serious safety risks.
Do not use your gas or electric stoves or ovens to heat your home. A gas oven can lead to carbon monoxide poisoning. Electric ovens are not designed to heat your home.
From the snow-covered palm trees of New Orleans to the white snow beaches of Alabama to the slushy thoroughfares of the Sunshine State, governors have declared states of emergency.
This is one of those things that the weather experts are telling us is unprecedented.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
And according to the flight tracking website FlightAware, more than 2,000 flights within, into, or out of the U.S. were canceled today, most of those coming from Texas and Louisiana. The National Weather Service is forecasting about a half foot of snow in parts of Florida. That would surpass the state's snowfall record of 4 inches set way back in 1954. And we still have more news to get into this evening. Still ahead here at 11, a major blow to offshore wind energy. President Trump's executive order could change the future of local projects. But first, Delaware's new governor sworn in this morning. What Matt Meyer had to say in his inauguration speech.
Here's the latest look at the light precipitation moving across the region. We've had more in the way of accumulation beginning in Ocean Pines and Gulf Club shores, but we have a continuation of the light flurries that's going on for right now. But it's the cold tomorrow morning. That's our big story, and we'll cover that in detail in just 60 seconds.
Tomorrow at 4 on Coast Life, rock and roll gets new life through piano sensation Josh Christina. Hear how he's keeping the legends alive with his electrifying performances. Coast Life, tomorrow at 4 on CoastTV.
Ready to upgrade your drive? Visit buyatoyota.com or scan this QR code and start your journey today. Ready for anything with comfort that lasts the whole trip? Your new RAV4 is waiting with deals just a click away. Right now, buy a new Toyota RAV4 with low 4.99% APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
Have fun and enjoy Delmarva's Coast with Petey the Peacock, sharing joy coast-wide. Know where he's going to be next and get his free coloring book at peteythepeacock.com. Sponsored by Tidal Health.
I was just taking note of the driving wind and the snow particles. That's part of the picture that we're showing you right now, courtesy of our gutter helmet camera. Basically, it's just cold all over. We have very grainy or sandy type of precipitation, snow that's falling for right now. We're going to stay in the teens, and we could see this continuing in the Ocean View area now, specifically Ocean City, Ocean View, until about, let's say, 12 o'clock. Most of us didn't even see any of the snow. I mean, we started off cold for everybody, and we're at 17 degrees right now in Rehoboth, 17 also in Milton. Limited snow there, but still some manifesting itself. More in the way of heavier snow showers down towards Ocean Pines and Ocean City. And we were about a degree or two cooler than we were just 24 hours ago. Now, here's the latest look. Now, this is really the back edge of a bigger system that really goes down to the deep south. But we haven't had measurable precipitation throughout most of Delaware. It's really down here towards Ocean Pines and Ocean City, and they're still tabulating it as we speak. We are currently concerned about the cold weather advisory that's active for Sussex, meaning that we're looking for 5-degree wind chill factor or below that as a result of the drop in temperature and the winds that are whipping up its fury with all this cold. In addition to that, freezing spray advisory for all the beaches, meaning that we're concerned about any kind of water splashing up on the bridges or the water or anything at all, freezing immediately from that spray. And as you take a look at the snow shower activity, we go into where we're seeing the heavier snow shower in Selbyville, Whaleyville, Ocean Pines. Also, we're seeing some active snow showers right now at Cedartown, Public Landing, Figs Landing, as well as Ironshire. And then also picking up some additional snow showers in George Island Landing, Franklin City, Girdle Tree, Wellburn, Signpost, Goodwill, just south of Highway 113. Overall, we have high pressure still in control of our weather. We have the cold front that's actually draped down towards the Ohio Valley region. This is that active storm system that we just saw the national story on. A big time mix of things, warm air coming off of the water, mixing with the icy air that's on top of it. And it's making for a volatile mix at this particular time. Seeing possibility of thunder snow could be a result of that as well, because everything's so right there on the edge. For us here Wednesday, we'll have temperatures near 20 degrees. And to be quite honest, it's not going to feel like 20 degrees. It's going to feel like the teens regardless. And so we have the last remnants of the snow that's supposed to make its way out of our neck of the woods after about midnight. And then we have the winds pouring directly out of the north. I'm concerned about the ice and the cold. We have a close to high chance of frostbite risk for Wednesday specifically. At least a moderate chance of it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But look at these wind chills. We're talking about 1 degree for us Wednesday morning. and then down to 10 for us on Thursday morning, and then 11 on Friday morning. Then we're back to 5 going into Saturday morning. So that being said, as we round up the forecast, clearing out for tonight and 13, 23 for the high tomorrow, but icy air is in play. And then on Thursday, we'll have more sunshine and it's at 33, but still staying cold. Here's a look at your extended forecast.
Thanks again, Paul. Well, this morning, Matt Meyer was sworn in as the 76th governor of Delaware. It was a ceremony that had to be forced inside due to extreme cold conditions. Meyer campaigned as a political outsider with an emphasis on education. He's a former teacher. He also touted health care, and today he pledged unity.
And I'm excited and grateful to stand before you as your 76th governor. I ran for governor because I love this state, but not only that. I ran for governor because I believe in this state, but not only that. I ran for governor because I'm determined to get to work, to help our government work better and deliver more. You, the people of Delaware, have given me that chance, and it is the greatest honor of my life.
Meyer has signed his first executive order directing state agencies to prioritize the development of youth apprenticeship programs. And President Trump signed an executive order that halts new offshore wind projects. You may recall U.S. Wind is planning to build turbines off the coast of Ocean City, which has faced a lot of local pushback. The new order prohibits the federal government from assigning new leases, and if necessary, the government can terminate or amend already approved projects. Local lawmakers say this is the strongest action taken to date in opposition of wind energy.
He clearly has made known that he has no intention in his administration to move forward with the offshore wind energy generation and these projects that have such a negative impact across the board.
And U.S. Wind says in part the company looks forward to working with the new administration. Another one of President Trump's first actions of his second term cleared the names of hundreds of people convicted and charged related to their actions at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. That includes 4 men from Delmarva. One of the most memorable cases, that of Kevin and Hunter Seafried, the father and son from Laurel who entered the U.S. Capitol. Kevin Seafried is seen in one of the most infamous pictures from that day, carrying a Confederate flag inside the Capitol. The court found that Hunter Seafried cleared broken glass from a window. Both men are now pardoned. Coming up next, TikTok is back for now. We've got the latest on the platform's uncertain future. And next, what Netflix's latest price hike means for subscribers.
Avoid the nightmare of mold. Did you know, after a water-related event, mold can begin to grow within 48 hours? If this happens in your home or business, first thoroughly clean and dry the affected area, then increase airflow and decrease relative humidity. Or just call Riptide Restoration, your trusted mold remediation experts on Delmarva, to professionally treat and remove the mold and restore your home as if it never happened.
For more information, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Who wants to drag out a bulky vacuum? Introducing Horsepower Duck, a super compact vac with ultra-powerful suction. Clean up that mess in the kitchen, the spill on the sofa, even sawdust in the workshop. Just duck it up. The compact design can reach the tightest places, so store it in any drawer where it's always at your fingertips. You can even store it in your glove box for the ultimate car vac. The HEPA filter helps remove dust and allergens. Plus, it dumps out with ease, so it's ready to clean again. Get the Horsepower Duck hand vac for just $39.99. Order right now and we'll upgrade you to the Duck Pro package, a $30 value, yours free. You get the bendable tube, the crevice nozzle, and the soft brush nozzle, but supplies are limited, so there's a strict limit of 3 ducks per order. This may be your last chance to get yours at this low price, so don't delay. Duck it up today.
Call 1-800-581-3085 or visit duckback.com. So call 1-800-581-3085 or visit duckback.com now.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan lights with deep socket extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with Socket Fan.
Listen to Big 107.7, Delmarva's classic rock station.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Netflix announced it is raising prices on most of its subscription tiers in the U.S. and Canada. This as the streaming giant reports 19 million new subscribers in the last quarter of 2024. It's Netflix's biggest ever jump in subscribers and puts the streaming giant at 302 million worldwide. That's solidifying its hold on the top spot in the industry. Netflix also reported revenue increased 16% from the same quarter the previous year, exceeding $10 billion for the first time in the company's history. Meanwhile, operating income totaled $2.3 billion, an increase of more than 50% from the year before. Well, TikTok is back online after a weekend outage, but its future still remains uncertain. A law banning it is still in effect, but President Donald Trump says he plans to issue an executive order to delay the ban. Analysts say technology companies that support TikTok now could be taking a risk. The law says companies that violate the ban face up to a $5,000 fine. Trump's actions around TikTok could face court challenges. Republican Senators Pete Ricketts and Tom Cotton say there's no legal basis for an extension of the ban's effective date. Politicians in both parties argue saving TikTok would require a new law. Some analysts suggest another way to save TikTok could be to force its sale to a non-Chinese buyer. In sports news, a new record was broken for the Governor's Challenge in Salisbury. The event brings top-notch high school basketball talent to Wicomico County, and this year, organizers say attendance across the 5 tournament locations totaled over 20,000 people. Plus, organizers say the tournament's estimated economic impact was $3.5 million. The challenge returns again this December. Coming up in sports, Woodbridge boys basketball looking for their 6th win of the season while taking on Laurel. And next, flying easier, how JetBlue is bringing a popular payment option to the sky.
And right now we're tracking the last of the snow that's beginning to make its way out of our immediate area. We still have some snow showers throughout Newark, Ocean Pines, Colburn, and Snow Hill.
NBC News Daily, weekdays at 1 on Coast TV.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Hey, let's try this with Ritz. Now here comes the blitz.
What?
Step up your game day with Ritz.
This is amazing, George Kittle.
Please, call me George Kittle.
Start something new at McGee Motors.
Start an adventurous Jeep Grand Cherokee, now just $259 a month. Start something powerful. Durango GT Plus is just $289 a month.
Start something big. Ram Bighorn is $339 a month. Or get a Ram 2500 Tradesman, now up to $15,000 off.
Or start something legendary. 4x4 Jeep Wrangler Sport is now just $189 a month.
At McGee Motors in Georgetown, a family tradition since 1948.
Uncomfortable at home? Cold floors and drafts starting to feel unbearable? DryTech specializes in transforming crawl spaces into clean, dry, and energy-efficient environments by sealing out moisture and enhancing air quality. They create a home that's healthier, more comfortable, and efficient year-round.
Say goodbye to freezing pipes, wasted energy, and discomfort. Our expert solutions provide peace of mind and long-lasting comfort for every season.
And we're here for your next crawl space project. Have you DryTech yet?
Flashing lights. See them, and you know to go slow.
Now we put that same technology in the palm of your hand with Lizard Flare. It's the high-tech safety flare with no flame. Lizard Flare uses 15 high-intensity LED strobes that can be seen nearly a mile away, and a powerful magnet that sticks to your car without exiting the vehicle. Look, flares are dangerous, but Lizard Flare won't let you down. A dead battery, an empty gas tank. With Lizard Flare, help is on the way. Lizard Flare Pro has an ultra-bright flashlight too.
Get your Lizard Flare for only $9.99, but wait, Lizard Flare may be discontinued. Due to rising costs, Lizard Flare is stopping manufacturing effective immediately. There is a strict limit of 2 vehicle packs per order. Call now.
This may be your last chance, so call 1-800-604-4696. That's 1-800-604-4696 or visit lizardflare.com now.
You will soon be able to book a JetBlue flight using Venmo. JetBlue announced on Tuesday that the payment option is available on its website, and JetBlue said this is a first for airlines, and the payment option will be available in the coming months on their mobile app. The announcement comes as the struggling airline continues to look for new ways to make money. Last fall, JetBlue introduced a plan to create its first ever airport lounges. That's going to be in JFK and Boston Logan airports. On Tuesday, shares for the carrier rose 6% in midday trading. Well, after multiple delays, the Real ID will soon be a reality across the country. And as Linda Baquero reports, for those who have yet to get one, a new deadline has been set.
After years of delays, the deadline for getting a Real ID is set. To board a domestic flight after May 7th, a regular driver's license won't work.
Do you have your Real ID?
I do not, but I do need to get one due to flying international and as well in the United States.
Let's see what you
I
got
don't think
here.
it's real yet.
I don't see a star. You're supposed to have...
Starting May 7th, the Transportation Security Administration says you'll need a Real ID compliant driver's license or state-issued ID to board a domestic flight or enter certain federal buildings.
And is very important from a security perspective. So, the deadline had been extended as a result, certainly of the pandemic and some of the impacts that had on adoption, but it is being implemented this May.
In New York, Real ID compliant licenses will have a star on the upper right, or it should say enhanced, which also allows you to fly within the U.S. In New Jersey, licenses also must have a star on the upper right. Connecticut licenses feature a gold star.
Any particular reason why you've waited?
I tried to do it, but there was so much documentation needed in White Plains about 2 years ago. I was minus one piece of information, so I never did it.
To apply for a Real ID, you'll need to document your name, date of birth, social security number, and 2 proofs of address. TSA.gov has more info. Real ID will only be required for travelers 18 and over. Ron Minikis already has his Real ID, but expects a rush for appointments soon.
I assume so. If there's a deadline, people wait till the deadline.
Continuing to get the word out to residents about this important requirement that's taking effect on May 7th so that travelers are ready.
And so that was for domestic travel, but if you're planning a requirements for travelers. As of January 8th, Americans traveling for less than 6 months to or through the United Kingdom will need what's known as an electronic travel authorization. It's basically a digital registration. All U.S. citizens traveling, even children under 18, need to apply through the UK government website or through the app on their website to get one. It takes about 20 minutes to complete.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Woodbridge and Laurel boys basketball looking to move above 500 on the season while facing off at the home of the Bulldogs. In the second quarter of action, it's Blue Raider Isaiah Giles driving and bouncing into Woodbridge down by 7. About 20 seconds later, Sean Copes dishes to Brock Hill, who finishes it down low. Laurel up 19-10. Shortly after, Copes collects the rebound, maneuvers through the defense, and knocks it off the glass and in. Bulldogs extend their lead to 11. Next possession for Woodbridge, they lose control of it, and Copes grabs the rock on transition. Outlets to Khalid Burton, who is too much to handle. The junior deposits 2 points as Laurel takes down Woodbridge 54-32 and improves to 6-5 on the season. Watch full highlights on DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com. To the ESEAC Conference, Delmarva Christian at Salisbury Christian, and it's Malachi Light drilling it from downtown. Delmarva Christian takes the 32-14 lead. About 5 minutes later in the third, it's TJ Lyles getting crafty, and he puts the Royals up by 23. Then it's Salisbury Christian's turn, working it around. Wilson Smith over to Perez Davis, who floats in 2 for the Jags. On to the next possession for the Royals. Andrew Collins with the spin move and bucket. Delmarva Christian defeats Salisbury Christian 87-22, advancing to 8-2 on the season. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
The Today Show, weekdays at 7 on Coast TV.
Happy New Year from the dealership that puts you, the customer, first in everything we do. First State Chevrolet in Georgetown.
Rates as low as 2.4% and $2,000 off on this new 2025 Chevy Silverado.
Save over $3,000 on this 2024 Chevrolet Blazer. Sales, service, parts, body shop, and towing all in one convenient location in Georgetown, 1 mile north of the DMV.
We are First State Chevy in Georgetown, where we put you, the customer, first. Together, let's drive.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation, where we bring the showroom to you.
Come out for the Delmarva Shorebirds Hot Stove Banquet, Thursday, January 30th at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center. Get your tickets today, which includes a buffet-style dinner and your opportunity to meet Orioles manager Brandon Hyde. Plus, there'll be a cash bar and silent auction with sports memorabilia from your favorite MLB and minor league teams. Proceeds benefit the Shorebirds Fly Together Fund. Tickets available now at theshorebirds.com.
Introducing Paisano, the authentic pizza oven by Granite Stone. Now make the world's most delicious pizza with real stone right in your own home. You simply set it and let it make golden, crispy, extra cheesy stone-baked pies in under 6 minutes. You can get your Paisano pizza oven for just 3 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free.
Call 1-800-608-5198 or order online at buypaisano.com.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan lights with deep socket extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with socket fan.
Sure, they might be considered annoying to some people, but squirrels deserve a day of recognition, don't you think? Today is Squirrel Appreciation Day, and there are more than 200 species of squirrels around the world. Here on Delmarva, you'll mostly find gray squirrels, but there's also the Delmarva fox squirrel, which is actually a rare find. They are silver, and they typically stay on the ground instead of climbing up in trees. They were once on the endangered species list, and they're only found here on Delmarva.
Well, hopefully the squirrels and the rest of us are taking refuge from the cold for the next couple of days. We have the leftover remnants of the snow shower activity that's beginning to clear its way away from Highway 113. By the way, our umbrella giveaway winner, Barry Moshinsky of Rehoboth Beach. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. And you can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. The number is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brugstedt, Medalis, and Federico. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast. Now, listen, we do have the flurries that's happening for the night, and that's going to come to an end at about midnight. Not a real big deal, but this cold is the big deal. We're looking at temperatures climbing only to 23 degrees, and then we drop down to 12 For Wednesday night going into Thursday and Thursday going into Friday, we are looking for the wind chill factor to drop to 5 or below that. A brief respite for us on Friday, but then Saturday morning, Friday night going to Saturday morning, we dip down to 15 degrees. So Saturday morning, we're going to have another day where we're looking for single-digit wind chills and likelihood for our cold weather advisories to stay in effect for the next 4 days in a row. Christina.
All right. Thank you, Paul. And thanks to you for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. For some more local news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.